Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome into the News 10 Plus desk. I'm Taylor Gattoni with Nicole Buckman.
Hello, how's it going? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Do you have a nice weekend?
Yes, very good. Very productive in terms of the holidays and getting everything organized, but also relaxing. Lots of football, lots of fun.
I'm wearing that blue.
Yeah, it was a big.
Let's go Lions.
Let's go Lions. And blue.
Yeah, that is true. Michigan did also play. They did well. I did watch that game.
I was surprised when you're like, I got my blue on. I was like, okay.
For the Lions, okay? I'm a Spartan, all right?
I see how it is. But anyway, yes, we are just diving into this week full storm as the holidays are just quickly approaching. Week 2, so
yeah,
we have so much fun in store for you today on Studio 10. Starting out with Peacock Family Farms. So we went over there to showcase how it's not just Christmas trees. It's a whole experience. So we're talking all about the gifts that they have, that unique gift shop, how you can meet Santa, the train ride, all of that stuff, just kind of showcasing that this is right in our backyard, you know? And so if you're still like not trying to get a Christmas tree, they have some available over there too, to just get you ready and into the season, and knowing that these people are just, you know, this is their passion.
Yeah.
You know, I think that says a lot. We were talking to the owner, and the owner was telling Claudia that like, he gets sad the day after Christmas because no one's there anymore visiting him.
Well, I remember last year I was talking to the owner there. I forgot what the story was on, but I remember I was at Peacock Farms, and he was saying how Christmas or Christmas trees feeds your soul. You know, you have the food that feeds your tummy, but getting the holiday spirit that feeds your soul. And I was like, that's so cool.
Absolutely. So we're excited to show you that, as well as diving right into this week. Williamston, the town of Williamston is Ladies' Night Out.
Oh, all right,
so,
let's go.
If you are still Christmas shopping and want to do your part and support local, there are so many businesses in Williamston. And so we're going to showcase a few of them and how you can be a part of Ladies' Night. And all of that, so they will be bringing in some of their gear, their stuff, their goodies into the studio today. And then also a little later, since it is Monday, which means it's also Motivational Monday.
Yes, it does, and I need some of that.
Yes, it is cool. So, you know, not only do you need some motivation to get into the holidays, you know, because it's a lot of hustle and bustle, but the holidays come with a lot of gatherings, which can be intimidating if you go to by yourself. You know, whether your partner isn't in town, you know, your partner is busy, or, you know, you're single. You know, it can be hard to walk into a holiday Christmas event, whether it be a work event, a gala, you know, something like that. It can be so hard.
You get there and you start looking around panicked. You're like, okay, who do I know? Who don't I know?
Yeah, exactly. So having that motivation to still go to these events, even though, you know, you might be by yourself. So Regina will come in and she'll tell us a little bit about some of the things that we can have in our back pocket, you know, conversation starters. So we're not feeling super intimidated. So that's very helpful there. Plus, it's day 3 of 10 days of Christmas giveaway.
Look at that.
I know. So today we're going to be not only announcing who won the $50 gift card to High Caliber, but we're also going to be sharing how you can win $50 to A Touch of Tint and giving you that clue that you need. So definitely want to tune in today for that. Plus, we're going to tie things up with Justin, and that's he'll be coming in a little shortly, but it is National Tie Month, and
I like how you said that. Tie things up.
It's a pun there. But ties have changed so much over the years. They have gone, you know, short to long to wide to skinny. Like, there are so many different trends. So we'll be taking a look at those, and plus learning some fun ways to tie the tie. I know I'm not very good at it, so Justin will be kind of showcasing all of that. So that will all be on Studio 10, so you definitely want to stay tuned.
Is this a regular tie, bow tie? What type of tie?
Regular tie.
All right.
Yes.
I was going to say, there's different variations.
I know. Yes. We could do something every week with a tie, because there's so many different kinds. But it's just cool, because, you know, as women, we kind of are like, first of all, I didn't realize that some of these ties are like $40.
Oh, some of them get so expensive.
I know. I was like, what? I always thought these were like maybe in the $20 range. So, Mobby. So you learn something new every day, and we're going to be learning how to tie those ties.
All right. Thank you, Nicole. That is coming up 3 o'clock today. Tune into Studio 10. And, of course, if you want to rewatch anything, if you're unable to make it, or if you do want to rewatch and then send that video link to someone else, you can always go to their socials at WILX Studio 10. You can go to their YouTube page, always a great place to go. That's typically where I like to watch back for all of their many different segments and videos. So feel free to go look at that and at WILX Studio 10. That's all you need to know. But we do have Justin Bradford standing by right here because Justin, it's kind of not a terrible weekend, I'd say. Yesterday was super rainy, and then today's just kind of eh.
I'd say the first weekend in December, just in a word, a little gloomy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, pretty gray outside. The weather wasn't really terrible. You know, we didn't have any big rain, snow, anything crazy that caused a lot of impacts on roads. But we didn't see a lot of the sun. Temperatures at least weren't brutally cold. They were near where they normally are this time of year. And that's kind of how this week started too. But we are going to get into a little more sun today. And some folks already seeing some blue sky, which is good news. But we're tracking a few other things. Firstly is the snow event that could come through tomorrow morning. Doesn't look like any major impacts for us, but could slick up the roads for your morning commute. And so we wanted to give you a first alert on that. And then late in the week, we're actually warming things back up a little bit. And so we're talking 50s for everybody across the area by Friday. And so that'll be a different trend we're going in as we head towards the weekend. But as we normally know, this time of year, we get a big warm-up. It's usually followed by a storm, which is right on its heels, and we likely have that for next weekend too. So a lot to talk about.
Don't get too excited about those 50s.
Yeah, they're short-lived this time of year, right? We don't get them for several days in a row normally, and so Friday, if it's a day that warm weather lovers, those of you out there, you'll want to enjoy that as best you can.
All right, well, let's take a look outside right now, because like Justin was saying, the word is gloomy. That's just how it's looking and feeling.
Yeah, that's how it has been most of the daytime. We're finally seeing a bit of the sun peek out at US 127. The Meridian Company Skycam Network showcasing that here. Again, well, obviously all those leaves are off the trees there and continuing to see a little bit of the sun try to creep in this afternoon. Now, the numbers have climbed to 37. We do have a west-northwest wind, so that is causing a bit of a wind chill out there. Still not too terrible, though, for the time of year. This is what we typically expect in early December. 37 is the number as well in Mason and Charlotte, 38 for Jackson. Marshall is at 39 degrees, and we do have a 40 out there in Adrian. I think it's possible a few other folks may sneak into the 40s by the time we hit 3, 4 o'clock today before the numbers start cooling back off. Now, wind chills, they're still holding on to 30s, as you can see here. So the wind is out of the west-northwest, only about 5 to 10, and so it doesn't bite too much, but you'll notice it probably feels closer to the freezing mark in most spots than it does the 40-degree mark out there. Hour-by-hour numbers are, again, going to slowly decline through this evening. We're still around 32 as we approach midnight. And the numbers this evening are not far from where they normally would be for this time of year. And so that's something that we've got going forward that is pretty good there. So we'll look here at the satellite and radar, which has been pretty quiet today after being a little bit more active yesterday and even very early on Saturday. We had a couple of short-lived weak systems move through, and that's going to be the same case tomorrow, except tomorrow's system likely, instead of being a little bit of a drizzle or a light rain, maybe with a few snowflakes north, this one's going to be all snow for pretty much all of us. The good news is that it's very light, so it isn't causing too much in the way of impacts, though I know that the snow weather lovers are probably not that excited about that. Probably wishing we could get something in here before too much longer. But the hour-by-hour breaks down like this. We again go upper 30s today, maybe a few folks sneak to around 40. We'll fall back tonight to around the upper 20s, low 30s, and there's that little band of snow comes in tomorrow morning. Now, it spreads throughout the area with ground and air temperatures both hovering right around or above freezing. This shouldn't allow too much to stack up across most of the area, and we'll look at that precipitation total in a moment. And then most of the snow wraps up as we get into the late morning, early afternoon, and by the evening, things have already quieted down across our state. And so with the numbers getting into the mid and upper 30s tomorrow, I don't think roads are going to be a big issue. In fact, I'd be surprised if roads are covered in snow or ice per se, but they may get a little bit wet, especially early in the morning. And before the temps rise above freezing, if we start at about 29, 30 degrees, you might see a little brief dust-ups on some of the roads that aren't really being traveled on very much. But as soon as one car, that's all it's going to take, goes over that road, it'll just wipe that snow right out, turn it into water, and then everyone else deals with that throughout the day. And the good news is, again, with the numbers staying above freezing, we don't need to worry too much about any icing. But as we head into the overnight, numbers retreat to the 20s. That means that anywhere that is absolutely not treated, whether it's your back porch or your sidewalk or whatever, if you don't throw any salt down or anything like that, might be able to ice up if it's wet throughout the day and then doesn't dry out before the numbers cool down. But I don't expect this will be any big issue for us on Wednesday morning, and we'll warm back up into the upper 30s to near 40 with the clouds building in. Now, there is a system to the north of us Wednesday, but I think it's going to miss us, and then the warm air settle in behind that. So predicted snowfall, here's kind of what I'm thinking through tomorrow. It's not likely we see much more than a trace, and this really just means we dust it up a little bit, and that's about all. Not really much else coming of that, and you see places on our map also showing 0 as far as snow totals go. I think that's another very possible solution for most, if not all, of the area. So even if anything does stack up, I think, again, it's very, very light. This is not going to be a big weather event for us tomorrow, but we did want to give you a first alert to let you know flakes will be flying, and maybe a few places get just a little trace amount out there. So we'll look at the 10-day forecast here and show you that we've got those upper 30s lingering through Wednesday as well, and then the warm-up settles in. Thursday, 47, that's pretty good for the first week or the second week getting into it of December. And then Friday, 53, that's a good number right there. That is also going to come with a small chance of a late-day shower, although it looks like that system holds off till Friday night and into Saturday. That looks like it'll be a soggy day. Saturday, likely we have rain showers continuing with the numbers that are warm enough to keep it rain. But that's not the case on Sunday. That high 40s likely in the morning, at least how it looks right now. And, of course, this is 6-7 days out, so we'll continue to update this throughout the week. But those numbers will be falling. We'll likely spend most of Sunday afternoon right around the freezing mark. And if that's the case, with a very water-based, large system that's able to draw moisture from the south to help us out, but also filter in the cold air from the north to keep it snow, and you get those clashes of air masses in early December, and what you end up getting usually is kind of one of those very dense and really good packing snow events, which means that we'd be talking probably accumulation in at least a couple of inches. But of course, it's still almost a week out. And so this could all go to the north. It could go south, and we could get more in the way of snow. It's all that remains to be seen. So we'll continue to update that over the next several days throughout the week. Otherwise, you have the mild air to look forward to, the little brief bout with the dusting maybe of snow tomorrow, and then after that, once we get to Wednesday, Thursday, we'll really start fine-tuning the weekend system that comes in, exactly how it times out, because you may see a couple of different solutions between now and the weekend of what things look like, depending on how it tracks, because that system has not even formed yet out in the west. And so it's really hard to predict exactly what's going to happen when it really hasn't come together. That's just kind of what we're expecting at this time to happen based on the current atmospheric pattern. And so we'll keep our eyes on it for you, as we always do. If you don't manage to tune in with us, either on air, online, anything like that, you can always find it in the First Alert Weather app, which is a great place to go. And that's, once again, absolutely free. It's on Google Play and the App Store. It's got all sorts of great, wonderful features for you to have, including the hour-by-hour forecast, live radar, current, past, and future. The video updates come in multiple times a day, and we send push notifications as well that you can get when one of those updates has been put out. If you don't like the push notifications, I won't tell you how to live your life. You don't have to have them on, but anytime you want to check the First Alert Weather app, it will have all those great updates that you love to have. And it's easy enough. If you do get a notification and you say, I don't care, I know what's going on today, well, you can just open your phone, get rid of it. It's easy like that. We don't try to bother you too much with it. We just want to provide you with that forecast every day. We believe it's the most accurate, not only here in mid-Michigan, but anywhere around. And so download the First Alert Weather app if you have not done so already. Once again, absolutely free, and it's really hard to argue with that.
All right, thank you, Justin. Yeah, First Alert Weather app free off of Google Play and the Apple App Store. Now, we do have a comment here from Wendy. Perfect. She says, been baking Christmas sugar cookies, 8 dozen so far. My family loves my baked goods. Wonderful. Ready for Christmas.
Yeah, I think I've gotten a couple of the pictures from Wendy when she's baking. Very good. Wendy, thank you for commenting with us today, sending that in. We always appreciate you watching us.
Ooh, cookies do sound really good. You know, we had someone was passing around, what was it? Chocolate chip cookies. Did you get one?
I did not get one, no.
Go get one.
Oh, is there one? Are they still around?
They might still be around. I don't know where they are at this point. Check the break room.
I'll try to find one. We'll figure it out. I'll go hunt them down. We'll figure it out. So,
but yes, I would say, you know, let's go back to the forecast real quick. Since we're talking cookies, getting ready for the holidays. I mean, any day this week, whenever. It's cold outside regardless, except when, you know, heading into Thursday and Friday. But not a bad week to bake some cookies and get ready for the holidays. And just like Justin said, keep in touch with the First Alert weather app with those snow chances.
Yeah, we obviously mild trend late this week. We know that we won't have a ton of those. Look forward to more than likely in the winter, maybe, but it's probably not how it's going to shake out. And we certainly have our coldest days well ahead of us, and those will be coming up. Great time to start getting all those winter fun things to do prepared, and you get your training wheels off now, and you're going to be all smooth sailing as we head into the new year too, which is coming up in less than a month. Hard to believe, but we're almost there. Less than 4 weeks. I think 4 weeks from today is January 1st, is New Year's Day.
Oh, jeez.
And so we're going to be there before we know it. So enjoy. If you like the warm weather or warmer weather, you like 53 Friday, then that's your day to get out and enjoy it. Maybe go for that extra long walk. Aside from that, we're going to be settling back into a very December pattern this month.
All right, and there is another thing that the meteorologists have put together, Justin, the Winter Survival Guide.
Yes.
If people want to see what that's all about, I know we already aired it, but when can they see it again?
Well, they can see it on a couple of different dates. I know we're going to be airing this on Christmas Day, also on New Year's Day, but you can also, if you don't want to wait that long, go to our YouTube page. We've got it right up there, and it's the latest one that we've posted, First Alert Winter Survival Guide. We did one last year as well, but you just look at the upload date and you'll see that it's from this year. And so that's a project we all worked very hard on to help you get prepared for winter. And again, tomorrow, maybe we deal with a little bit of some wintry precipitation, a little bit in the way of snow.
Yeah.
It's not too impactful, but maybe the one on Sunday is, if that comes to fruition. And so it's good maybe to go watch that and see some of the tips. We talk to local experts in all different trades to figure out how they're preparing for the winter and how you can help yourself do so. So it's a great tool to have there.
All right, well, thank you, Justin.
Of course.
Before we transition into what else you can expect today on News 10, I do want to pull this up real quick, kind of tying into the weather and the gloomy conditions that we've seen recently.
Yeah.
It is our You're Not Alone mental health series. So all year long here on News 10, we're speaking to community members on their personal experiences, whether that's battling depression, anxiety, even suicidal thoughts. Know that you're not alone. We do have resources that you'll see in a couple of seconds here. If you go scan the QR code with your cell phone's camera, you're able to pull that up, scan that code. It'll have a list of resources throughout the Mid-Michigan community, from counseling, therapy, psychotherapy, anything of the sort. Go scan that QR code. Know that you're not alone. And another thing to do is to call the Lifeline chat. You can call or text that number. That number is 988. Again, that number is 988. So if you are a veteran more specifically and you call that or text that number and you click or press option number 1, that will connect you directly to another veteran who shares a similar experience to you. So again, all year long here on News 10, no matter what you're going through, especially as we get into the gloomy conditions of the year, talking about seasonal affective disorder, also known as seasonal depression, there are resources out there for you so that you can improve your emotional well-being. So make sure to go check that out. Again, you can scan it with your cell phone's camera. And something else that I want to get into is Toys for Tots. And while I have Justin up here with me for just a little bit longer, you can see all the toys, Justin. Look at that.
They all look like fun, and of course, any donation, however big or small, is greatly appreciated. And we've got so many great people here in Mid-Michigan who donate every year, some people who donate for the first time, and it's just so great to see what kind of impact that has on the kids and families who really need it, and it gives them that extra boost to help get them through the winter, help their give their kids something that they can use, and so it's certainly always something we appreciate here.
Yeah, well, I was at the front desk earlier. Someone walked in with this big box, and they're like, "We're here for Toys for Tots," and we're like, "Thank you so much!" Like, just a huge box of toys. It's amazing.
I'd say it's definitely among our proudest initiatives that we do here at News 10.
Yeah.
So we're certainly very grateful, although I'm sure not nearly as grateful as those families who are helped out by it. It's a great thing for folks to do.
Yeah, it's the community helping out the community. And as you see out in front of me and Justin, you have anything from a stuffed knit or crocheted dog, you have a doll, I think you have Django. What? Django's over here.
It's over there, yeah.
Yeah, so you have a range of toys, whether it's just for the young children, but also don't forget about those older children. So we're talking about the teens, the tweens. A lot of people forget about them, but hey, they're still children.
Of course.
They deserve a Christmas too.
Oh yeah. Stay kids as long as you can. That's my best advice for you.
Oh yes, yes, stay a kid. Just stay a kid. Don't grow up.
For sure.
But yeah, so we are asking for new unwrapped toys here at our WILX studios in South Lansing during regular business hours. Or if you go to WILX.com, hit on the hot button link, you're able to see a list of our sponsor locations. Some of them are View Meal and Furniture, a Dado Sales, Big John Steak and Onion, and Mercantile Banks. I might be forgetting a couple, but you can go to WILX.com for more, or you can scan that QR code on your screen for our Toys for Tots Amazon wish list. And if you choose to select a toy off of there, it'll ship it directly to our studios. Or again, of course, you can drop it off to our studios or to our sponsor locations, but we are asking for new unwrapped toys, not for us, but for those children, mid-Michigan families in need. You know, get them excited and joyful for the holidays. It could be a hard time and lots of increased costs around this time of year and just in general. So continuing to help those out in our communities for the holidays. So again, Toys for Tots. You can find more on WILX.com. But real quick, Justin, is there anything else weather-related, holiday-related that you'd like to mention?
Oh, not so much. Just, again, with a little bit of snow coming tomorrow, just continue to pay attention. The forecast will have updates on First at 4. Andy will in our 90 Minutes of News and a whole lot more. And so we hope you'll tune in and join us for those programs this evening.
All right, thank you. We will see you coming up on Studio 10 starting at 3.
Yep, we will.
So just over half an hour here. Make sure to see Justin then. Right now, we do want to share what else is coming up during our 90 Minutes of News and also First at 4. So starting with Mid-Michigan Matters today, as you were getting into the holiday spirit, we were talking about, well, how to avoid those holiday fires, right? You want to get all festive. You do not want to cause any chaos with that. So whether we're talking about holiday lights or the candles or cooking all of that delicious food in the kitchen. And then you also have your artificial Christmas trees and your natural Christmas trees. Even those can create a fire hazard risk. So make sure you're tuning in to Mid-Michigan Matters today. We are bringing in, let's see here, Chief Gonzalez from Jackson Fire Department to talk about what you can look forward or how to avoid the fires in your kitchen, in your home, anything like that. So that is what we have coming up during Mid-Michigan Matters today. And then coming up News 10 at 5, Tim Stout will share his thoughts on the college football playoff pairings that were announced yesterday. And if you have any questions or comments about that, make sure to join the News 10 Plus desk at 3:45 for Tim Stout on Sports Live. And the Genesee County Sheriff held a press conference this afternoon and said the body recovered in Saginaw County is confirmed to be the Flushing woman who went missing in October. So hear more from Sheriff Chris Swanson, and we have all of that coming up, all of those details coming up today, News 10 at 5:30. News 10 at 6 tonight, Jordan was in Clinton County, and she was there for an announcement from Attorney General Dana Nessel on child abuse charges out of DeWitt. So we'll hear more from Tenaya Jordan on the latest details, and you can hear all of that coming up News 10 at 6. And of course, we have Deanna out and about, so we are going to send it to her to see what she has coming up today, News 10 at 6. I'll just step out of the way. Actually, we'll stay right here.
Thanks, Taylor. The retail store in Lansing Mall is now preparing for their 12 days of Christmas. I'm Deanna Giles, and I met with the store owner who shares how they're impacting the community. I'll have that story on News 10 at 6. Back to you, Taylor.
All right, more holiday talk. You just heard Deanna Giles, what she has coming up today. News 10 at 6. If I can get this working right here, we'll get the background all covered. But yes, so lots of holiday talk. You heard Nicole Buckman telling us what they had coming up today on Studio 10. Again, that is coming up in just over half an hour here. So you can tune in for Justin Bradford's latest weather updates, all of the holiday fun on Studio 10. Of course, again, during First at 4 Mid-Michigan Matters today, we're talking more on the fire hazards during the holidays. And then during our 90 Minutes of News, one more time, I will pull that up. You have a list of things happening. News 10 at 5, Tim Stout on college football playoffs. News 10 at 5:30, more on the Genesee County Sheriff press conference that happened this morning. And then News 10 at 6, tonight Jordan has more on the details with Attorney General Dana Nessel on child abuse charges out of DeWitt. All of that coming up today during our 90 Minutes of News. One more time with all of the weather, I do want to send it out for a live look over Michigan State University. You are seeing those dark clouds right now. So like Justin was saying, it's going to be pretty mild today with everything, pretty quiet conditions. You are going to see a lot of those clouds popping up in the sky and get some brief peeks at the blue sky above that. But until then, make sure to check back with the First Alert Weather app for all of the latest weather updates, or you can go to WILX.com. Click on First Alert Weather. You can get a detailed description of what our meteorologists have forecasted for today. They have a 3-day forecast, a 10-day forecast, so go ahead and make sure to check that out. Or, of course, Justin Bradford will have more coming up during Studio 10 and First at 4. And then Andy Provenzano will have more coming up during our 90 minutes of news. Until then, have a great Monday, everyone.